Good morning and welcome back to Spidz YouTube. Yesterday we had our VOD review with Donut, and this time I brought Monte along because we are playing against Monte. This is Monte's lineup of Scouts, Jackson, and Rex and Sejuani. Again, I'm on the same thing because it's the same tournament of Karmaset, Jarvan, Shen, and Ashe LeBlanc. Just like as I explained in yesterday's video, the whole point of our lineup was to beat on Jackson, and it just so happens that I'm also pretty decent into Rex and Sejuani and MF Quinn. If we open up the deck lists, I want to quickly show something interesting about them. Obviously, I'm keeping up Jackson. That's like my primary target, and that's what I scrimmed with Roma for countless hours. By countless, I mean you can count them. It was about 3. But MF Quinn and Renekton Sejuani was a bit of an interesting ban choice. I couldn't really decide on it. Renekton Sejuani has a lot more staying power and a lot more of like destructive spells compared to the stuff like the Darius, which is what we were trying to defeat anyway. I'm thinking things like Three Sisters, Rite of Negation, Curse of the Tomb, even Merciless Hunter and Sejuani being able to like manipulate blocks. Like there are worlds in which like they exhaust one of my big units into the Forsaken Bakai and then I take 1 billion damage, where like Darius and can't do that because they're much more reliant on things like Glacial Saurian and Omen Hawk and much more bigger units, right? Obviously and Whirling Death changes that. Like there is a reason why that deck gets more play than Renekton Sejuani, but Renekton Sejuani does have a lot more blowout potential and interesting gameplay patterns. But if we look at MF Quinn, they don't run Durand Sculptor, and they don't run Dilution Spell. The Luck Spell. What's it called? Inspiring Light. They're not on Inspiring Light, they're not on that other card, so it means that like things like Wings of the Cryo Phoenix feel a lot better into a deck like this, but obviously there's more instances of just like normal go wide stuff. You know, we got the Shell Shockers and the Bushes and the Fleet Feather Trackers. It's 8/1 drops instead of like the normal 6, I think. So it's definitely a different take on the lineup. But I ended up deciding to keep up MF Quinn because I thought that Karmaset was going to be kept up, and I wanted Karmaset to have the best chance. And I felt like Karmaset is going to struggle into a Rite of Negation sort of stuff than this sort of stuff. As I mentioned, we have Monte on. Monte also recorded his games, which means he gave me his file, and I've managed to show his hand during the entire game. Now, obviously, when I'm playing, I don't get to see the hand, and when we've already done the VOD review. I'm recording this afterwards. We don't talk too much about like what hand information I have, probably because I'm so dominating in these matchups. I don't need to focus on it too much. I have a sense of like if they have CS or not. But being able to see his hand hopefully is an interesting twist on something that we haven't really been able to do before. So hopefully you enjoy. If you've got any thoughts on the format or anything, please leave a comment. Likes are mostly irrelevant, as much as Monte says that you should like. Leaving a comment, letting me know the things you liked or disliked is always much more valuable to you, because it's actually like information I can do something with as opposed to a like, which is very meaningless. But hopefully you enjoy, and I'll let the previous Spidz and Monte talk about the VODs. Welcome back. Today we'll be reviewing our game with Monte from Aegis, which happened right after the Donut game. And I've actually brought Monte along with me. Do you want to say hello, Monte?
Hello! I'm super honored to be a part of this. Thanks for having me, Spidz.
I'm very excited. We've just got finished casting the Duck Cup, which was very, very, very exciting. It was a great time. But are you ready to go through our games from Aegis? I think yesterday?
Yes, I'm ready to see myself get my butt kicked.
Okay, this was a very lopsided game. I had very good matchups into both Scouts and Jackson, so like it was very hard for you to come back from it. But there's always stuff you can learn from these matchups, and it can be interesting to see what actually happened.
I was actually really surprised that you left Scouts up. I was fully expecting Scouts to ban all day.
Yeah.
And then I got to play Scouts twice.
One of the reasons I kept it up, we were debating between banning Scouts and banning, what was the other deck? You're gonna have to remind me.
For your Shurima Overwhelm.
Yeah, for Shurima Overwhelm. I picked Scouts because I looked at the Scouts list, and some of the cards that I was concerned about were like Inspiring Light and Durand heal, give everyone +1+ health. Get what it's called, Sculptor. And like I was thinking that you weren't going to ban Karmaset Freljord. I thought Karmaset Freljord was going to have the toughest time, and so I wanted to make sure I could use Wings of the Cryo Phoenix. And because I could, I felt like I'd rather have fought Scouts than Renekton Sejuani with Karmaset. That was my thinking.
That's fair. That's fair. Karmaset is like a 35% match Jackson, so I was thinking my best shot was just to take it off the board and then try to get through J4 Shen twice.
Interesting. Yeah.
But that didn't work out, obviously.
I think.
I'm a little bit surprised by the fact that you like Inspiring Light, because I felt like that was one of the weakest cards in the Scouts list when I was playing it. Although I do regret not including Duran Sculptor. It was kind of just an oversight on my part.
Drain Sculptor's worse into like Mystic Shot decks. Like it really, like I was talking with Donut yesterday. It's really bad into like Jananilla, right? Because they just Mystic Shot it and then it falls apart. But Inspiring Light is really good into Wings of the Cryo Phoenix because it turns your like Misfortune and your like X3s into things that can't be Wings of the Cryo Phoenix, right? So I think like Inspiring Light does well into my decks in particular. Maybe not for everything you were trying to hit though.
Yeah, my goal with my lineup was to go after Jan and Nyla, which didn't work because I lost both games into it, which was disappointing. But
Yeah.
what can you do?
Let's go through the games.
Alright, welcome back. We're in another... Oh, I guess I should close the live stream. We're doing another video game. This time we're fighting MonteXristo, who, again, is on the same point of the lineup as Donut, right? MonteXristo's on Jackson, we're trying to beat Jackson. I've seen his scouts list, and his Renekton Sejuani list, and his scouts list is actually not too scary for us. Scouts can just win games if you draw poorly with your decks. But the way their scouts list works has no Durand Sculptor, or whatever the lady is, the 2/2 lady, and also has no Inspiring Light, which means cards like Cryo Phoenix do better. Okay, never mind, they banned this. That's fine. Alright, let's start with Ashe LeBlanc. Having Jen Schaefer unbanned is a little bit scary, because I think Jen Schaefer is like the top.
Keep calling it Jen Schaefer. That's kind of funny to me. I cannot say Jen Schaefer. Fuck me. I cannot say Shen J4 properly. That's pretty funny.
This deck to do stuff with. But we start with Ashe LeBlanc, and hopefully we can be video gaming on them. So Monte's Jackson. Never mind, we don't worry about it. We have to do a Scouts matchup again. These Tron guys and their Scouts plus Jackson lineups. Alright, against Scouts, I imagine I want something like this. I feel like Ashe is not bad. Maybe Ashe is bad. Maybe I just want like big chunkers. And Ashe doesn't actually say chunk.
So you've played a lot of Ashe LeBlanc, which is great because I haven't played any Ashe LeBlanc. What do you think about this mulligan? How are you thinking going into Scouts?
You know, I have a bad habit of not thinking about what I'm playing against and just trying to focus on my own deck and my own game plan. I think I would have been very happy with this mulligan because it gives you an Omen Hawk for turn 1, which lets you potentially buff up something like an Assessor. Also, Omen Hawk on 1 is just probably the best thing you can do with this deck. And then having Sky Splitter available to generally good because it's a buff spell, and you already have Ashe, so I would probably just get the Ashe. You're not really under a ton of pressure, but there is a slight consideration to look for some earlier drops, but you weren't on Explorers or anything like that, so I would agree with this mulligan.
Interesting. I actually think I kick Ashe from this hand. I'm pretty sure I end up trying to look for LeBlanc or Brittle Steels or something, and reason that like the only things worse than Ashe are like the rally guy. But
LeBlanc is super powerful.
Yeah, LeBlanc felt like it'd be like the perfect card for what I wanted to do against you. But we can continue on. Do you remember your mulligan? We'll see the results of it based on your hand. But I presume you don't remember it.
I think I might have even full kept, but we'll see in a second here.
But also it's Ashe. My instinct is actually mulligan Ashe away. Any chunker is pretty much better than Ashe, because when Ashe is going to be attacking on turn 4, they will probably have 2 3/3s, is my instinct. I'd rather have like more Omen Hawks and like outvalue them with big units. Like Half-Guard seems a lot better in this matchup.
I kept my
like
tracker. I wanted a 1-drop for some reason, and then
I
immediately misplayed. I was like, oh, I'll just play the tracker so I have something available to me later.
Yeah.
But I definitely should have just dropped the other one so I could actually attack.
Yeah, I think like with Omen Hawk being like so prevalent in the meta, people finally have to like think about the decisions between playing a 2/1 and a 2/2. Typically playing the 2/1 is fine because they equally trade into stuff like Pigeon or Butcher or Rearguard or whatever. But having a 1/1 finally in the meta means that like playing 2/2s becomes a lot more prominent as a play. Back during Rising Tides, this was a big thing, but it's sort of not been a case anymore because everything's been a 2/1 or a 2/2.
I was actually thinking about it during the game too, and I was just like, doesn't matter. I'd rather have the challenger available to me later, so I can go after something like a LeBlanc if I really need to. But that's misguided because you're pretty much always going to have a buff spell or I should have just played the 2/2.
Yeah.
This deck, right? Our aim was to beat Jackson, and Reckoning does nothing to Jackson. So we're not on Reckoning. I am going to play Omen Hawk and then copy it. Oh, this LeBlanc's going to be huge. I'm glad I'm fighting Monte. I really like Monte. I didn't mention how much I like Donut. Like, I'm fighting all my friends here. This is great. I'm having such a fun time, man. Here's LeBlanc. If they try and kill LeBlanc, I've got shit going on. Okay?
You've got a relatively large board, but you don't really have a way to like capitalize it later on, right? Like without a CS in hand, without a Sergeant in hand, like this board won't be able to accomplish anything. Which isn't necessarily a problem with like how you've been playing. It's just like a draw issue, right? Like into my deck, you need to find your things like Vanguard Sergeant or CS, and you're just not finding them. At least, by turn 3.
I also misplayed here by not taking a block, so I couldn't even play the forward drop.
Ah. Do you mean next turn when I open into you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's so cool that I get to fight all my friends. Monte's kind of the goat. Ooh. Okay. Well, we'll definitely do Glory Seeker, and then we might even Darken Spear the Glory Seeker. What is their hand? They're gonna try and do CS. They're trying to do CS next turn. Okay. With that in mind, let's Darken Spear. I don't know why we're Darken Spearing, actually. Let's quickly kill you.
Interesting. Are you sure nothing about a different game? Because you can definitely do it in this
they're gonna
turn.
try and CS me. That's their aim.
Oh, you're saying you can't do
Maybe.
Navi into Misfortune, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
that
forgot I
sounds
top
fair.
decked the Misfortune, but
Hmm.
I definitely remembered screwing up the block. I was like, oh, I just took 6 free damage. And it occurred to me immediately after I hit okay. Like,
Yeah.
And now I can't scout attack. It feels bad.
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't really need this unit at all.
No, I don't. I probably should have just played the scout here and then overwritten something with Misfortune next turn, but that didn't occur to me either for some reason.
Mm.
Maybe they're gonna try and double. MF. Okay. That's not a big deal. I'm fine with that. Hearthguard. Oh, this is exactly what I wanted. They can't do Thingo anymore.
Yeah, I think your position feels a lot better because you get to open with this, and then I'm either protecting LeBlanc or freezing a few things, and then you get to like level her up, right? And if I don't have this unit around anymore, this flipping actually could be prominent. Now, obviously, I get to keep this unit based on this and this stuff, but there was a world in which like MF becomes like a real threat, especially with like this density of scout units. So this
That
previous
was the goal I
turn,
was playing.
this turn would have been a lot better. Yeah.
And there's not really like there's no
lose
slow
this
speed
unit, 'cause I
punishes
wanna
in your
manage
deck, so there's nothing
I'm
that
gonna-
gets screwed up by me developing. It's
Yeah.
just kind of a comedy of errors from my part. I think I was still on tilt from game 1 or from set 1, round 1.
We're not on like my deck's not on Reckoning, like because normally like I think this matchup can be very easily decided by Reckoning, which I'm just like not on because it wasn't what we were targeting. But yeah, I mean, you still like even with MF hanging around, you still don't like have CS or big units to go through because I'm obviously keeping this unit around and trading into this next turn. So even if you like set this up and set this up, I don't think it's too scary for me just yet.
Hit them with the Elixir Iron.
I was actually considering swinging with the Misfortune in this position just because of that fact. Like, I was pretty confident you had a buff spell to be able to protect the Challenger. So I wasn't sure she was living anyways. If I swing with the MF, I don't know that I'm in a better mid though. So.
Yeah, I think swinging an MF just like puts more favor into like me having extra combat tricks or something. Like, because I'm always blocking with LeBlanc and doing like the Sky Splitter stuff, and even if you kill one of these or one of these, I've managed to kill like a really important power card, and I still have everything I could possibly want, including 2 Anarchas. So I feel like for you to play to your proper outs requires you to keep MF on the field and slow me down as much as possible, which means this trades into this as opposed to being aggressive.
I guess I could have blocked because LeBlanc was leveling, but I don't want to have double form up and then we have to choose between these units. I guess if I block and I double form up, I'm still choosing between the units, right? Because they're going to try and kill that anyway. They don't run rallies, champion strength can't be cheapened, so let's just play Hearthguard. One banner.
But I think like a big reason why I won is having 2 Omen Hawks. Like all of these units are gigantic, as well as Darken Spear.
Yeah.
It's absolutely punishing for you, even if you had like a very normal attacking pattern of this into this, and you know didn't ruin the drop border stuff. Like the fact that I can block everything extremely favorably to no chagrin of my own is very, very favorable. Like I think I drew basically the nuts with double Omen Hawk into LeBlanc on curve.
And we might even be copying
absolutely.
Glory Seeker, to be honest.
You were just able to consistently buff your deck throughout the entirety of the game, and then you hit Hearthguard on 5 too, which is I'm sure if you looked at stats of Ashe games where Hearthguard is played on 5 versus games where Hearthguard is not played on 5, there's probably a significant drop off in win rate on games where it's missed. It's just so powerful, especially when it's a fucking 7-8 instead of a 5-6.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they can still afford strength of the champion. So we should
it's a good get
to try and beat strength of the champion. You pull this. I will probably Sky Splitter. Do I need a Sky Splitter? I do have another Treverian Glory Seeker. I'm putting the weapon on something else might be better. Or using Sky Splitter defensively. Let's just do it like this.
I wonder if this attack was right. Could I have just developed a unit? Because even if you play CS, I'm actually still trading into basically everything anyway. Which is like crazy. But still true.
I think the attack is definitely defensible.
Hmm.
I might have used mirror image on LeBlanc in this position.
Why?
There's nothing in my deck that punishes it really, except for CS. But like you said, you can still attack into basically everything, especially
Hmm.
since you still have Sky Splitter backup.
Is the reason to copy LeBlanc because it'll cheapen the second mirror image more expediently? Because why not do it on
Yes.
Hearthguard?
Because you've already got buffs going, and like buffing your deck even further beyond the first Hearthguard is kind of irrelevant. You're already outstatting my entire thing. I'd rather just be generating more mirror images for cheap. I think it's something that Ashe players very rarely do, but something that I do quite frequently.
Okay.
And there are situations where you can be punished for it, but like just LeBlanc churning out mirror images that now cost 1 or 2 or 1 or 0 instead of 2 is significantly better. Either way, you're putting 7 damage of power on the board.
Yeah.
So I would lean towards duplicating a LeBlanc in this spot.
Yeah. I think the only reason not to have done this is if I like want to keep this unit alive via Sky Splitter, which I can't do if you have CS, right? Because this unit has like 3 health at the moment. But I still feel like if I get you to play CS and then get to kill your MF and block down anyway, I'm feeling like relatively happy. Like that is your CS and not something else. So I do think mirror image would have been the better play. I agree.
But this feels like a really good position for us. I'm very happy about it.
And again, I fucked up by not blocking.
I'm willing to let this go. We have another Story Seeker. I'm probably doing
now I don't have room to play the Genevieve.
Yeah. You would have been at 20 health had you organized your blocks properly, which with how dominating my position was in this game, I don't think it ends up mattering, which is really sad to say. But yeah, it would have felt a lot different had you blocked with this and been able to develop both this and this in your coming up turns.
Yeah.
Defensively if they ever try and do a CS thing. Let's equip you with the Darkened Spear. And I will play
just hope my
Story Seeker
teammates
for no
don't see
reasons.
this.
But like next turn, if they develop, we're almost certainly just doing mirror image on like Hearthguard. Assessor. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so beautiful. I think Monte's a little bit fucked.
I think I like this. It allows you to attack with it, like because you can't really justify attacking with these, so you may as well keep this for later. Like hopefully after you've whittled down my board. So I do like it. It just sucks that like it's still not gonna be anywhere near enough, especially since I'm drawing 20 million cards.
Yep. I was like, okay, maybe I can turn the corner here, but then you dropped Assessor, and I was like, all right, this game's over.
Ashe, Harsh wins, Assessor, bloody business. Okay. This and this. This is where they do format. Okay. This is where
How do you feel about opting to keep the unit alive versus trying to trade the LeBlanc? Not that it's relevant, but...
Oh, is in putting LeBlanc here?
No, I mean, with my buff. I could have tried to trade you LeBlanc by buffing the other one, but I buffed the 7/9 to keep a unit on the board instead.
Yeah, I think you need to maintain board. I do like this play. It sucks. I think if you're at 20 health, this would be a lot more obvious that I think this is the better play. But even at 7 health, I think that, like, trying to slowly get through my units and keeping your stuff around so that CS is stronger and you can, like, I think you need 2 CSs to win and you need to maintain your board still. And so I think it makes sense to keep this around. I think I like it.
Okay.
Probably just accept it.
That's reassuring.
Right.
At least I made one right call.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna do bloody business? No, we can do bloody business. We can do bloody business, but here's the thing. I'm actually gonna do mirror image. Because if they attack, LeBlanc will, like, flip more. And I'm greedy. Like, I wanna do it like this.
I'm very greedy. I don't know if this was right. I don't know if it's better to just, like, stay calm, set up for, like, doubling up an Ashe or something to get a OTK lethal. But I felt like if I draw cards, there is 0 hand state that lets you win at this point.
Yeah.
And so I saw, like, something that basically guaranteed lethal and went for it.
Yep, I agree with this play. Like, even if I don't take this next attack and you don't get a mirror image back, using mirror image on Trifarian Assessor is like one of the highest priority targets that you could possibly get, and you're always generating a mirror image on your next turn as well. There's just no way to avoid that, basically.
I'm definitely a greedy goblin right now. I could bloody business. Should I just burn a card?
I was feeling okay, and then double thing happened, and I was very doomed. I was like, maybe I can claw back, but nope, just not happening.
It was a very dominating game. I mean, just like the difference between Omen Hawk and you not having the proper punishes to pressure me enough was just over.
We can probably play Elixir Vine, that's okay.
Play this to empty my hand, which is like that's really like disgusting. Like I feel very bourgeois that I have to play my like Elixir Vine just so I can win more. That's like a very funny position to be
I was wondering why you did that. I didn't even realize, like, I didn't realize your hand was full. I was like, why did she burn the elixir of iron? That seems so wasteful.
Next turn we'll play Ashe. If they decide to CS, we're fine. I think it's very hard for us to lose. I'm not too focused on specific minor qualities. I'm just sort of playing powerful cards and waiting for me to win. Okay. Let's mirror image you.
If I mirror image Ashe, by the way, I have guaranteed lethal, I'm pretty sure. I was very lazy and didn't think that like I needed to. Like, I had an opportunity for a guaranteed win, but I just went with the obvious play to me, which was do this and destroy your board more.
Yep.
But this plus this is just immediate lethal.
Will we get
Yes.
lethal? Actually, we do have fairly lethal.
Yeah, there's no way around it.
But I should have copied Ashe if I wanted that.
I mean,
Sure.
this serves the same
Alright, I'm
effect,
just lethal. Oh well.
Yeah.
right? Like,
I'm not
you're
too
still
upset.
clearing down my board for free, making
Let's
more
do
units.
this
Like,
now. Like, I'm trying to force him to block, right? Maybe this is actually more likely to get lethal, because I am killing 2 units as opposed to just losing to...
Oh, I did think about it. So like this and this and this kills 3 units. And so if your hand is like triple form up, you could technically survive. I don't know how you would win afterwards. While this like just destroys your units and lets me maintain board presence even more favorably. I don't think it matters. I think I'm deciding between like a 200% chance to win and a 195% chance to win, which are both above 100. But I think there's something kind of interesting there.
Spells.
the other thing to be said about it is if you duplicate the Ashe, I could always develop something like a Marai Warden, which I'm still probably dying at that point, but yeah, it's definitely guaranteed lethal because I just only 2 blocks. You have so.
Yeah, sorry, Monte, but it happens. Okay, Shen J4 into Scouts. Now, this should be tougher because Barrier is less good into a Misfortune. But I still think, like, provided we kill Misfortune on site and we have Barrier units, we should be gaming. So I am going to keep blocking Badger Bear, but probably cut everything else.
I think having a Badger Bear in my mulligan was insanely lucky. Like, Badger Bear is pretty much the only... It's like the best card I could have against you. Even more so than, like, Kinku Student and Shen.
Yep.
So I felt very happy to have this.
It's just an insane unit at all times.
I was very much looking for Misfortune with this mulligan.
But we do want Kinky Student, I think. I think the Student
I think it's
is exactly
probably the only way I win this one. You do have combat tricks to deal with her, but Misfortune deals with barriers, so she kind of invalidates your deck a little bit. And if I don't find her, I just have no shot at the matchup, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think your ideal hand is challenges Misfortune and Quinn. That way you can challenge the stuff that could kill Misfortune away and then have Misfortune strike in. And then just hope that I don't have like single combats or something. Like you have to hope that I don't have a lot. But that's definitely your line in order to try and win, right? Donut was talking about this yesterday, how when he's doing like Jax on into Ashe LeBlanc, he just has to assume that Ashe LeBlanc has no combat tricks, because if they do, he loses anyway. So like even from turn 1, he has to decide no Sky Splitter, no Elixir Vine, and you have to do the same thing. You have to decide like no single combat, no form up. You just have to.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's
just how you have to play unfavored matchups sometimes.
We do have Dark Aegis, which does give us like a tough unit, or can give something tough. Either equipping Dark Aegis or just playing Joral. Like instead of having Screeching Dragon, we've got Joral. That's our Screeching Dragon in this deck. Yeah, okay. I will play Caretaker, but I'm not gonna do this block. Will I do this block? Is this block good for me? I don't really have that many barriers right now. I actually like this block.
So what are your thoughts on this block? Because I really, really liked it. Because my thinking was this plus MF is the only way you sort of like let Badger Bear not pog out.
I was pretty happy to see you take it, but looking at your hand state, it makes complete sense why you did. I think if you had one barrier, you probably try and play a little bit more conservative because Green Glade lookouts are so powerful in Shen J4. But this is probably the trade. Like, I was hoping you would take this trade when I made the...
Right. Yeah.
It means that like they're not going to be able to kill Badger Bear at all, or pull stuff to the side and make me scared. I'm actually really happy about this. I know I don't know what mana. Shell Shocker.
Imagine if I actually played Badger Bear on turn 2. That'd be really mean.
I think Badger Bear plus Dark and Aegis will actually be not that bad. And then we do have Kinky Student. Like, how do they deal with blocking Badger Bear plus Dark and Aegis? I think the answer is simply that they don't. Okay. Well, we don't have to do Dark and Aegis until we're actually forced into it, so we can always wait. Here's Kinky Student. Navi. I'm probably gonna pass and play Drow as Drow.
Yeah, my initial plan was to just do this on this, because a 4-5 tough is impossible for you, but I saw that, like, Jural also has the tough keyword, and trades really favorably into this unit, and like, whatever you do with Quinn, with form up, like, all of these things make Jural as a unit quite strong.
Yeah, I think your decision to play Jural is kind of what sealed this game. If you hadn't played Jural on turn 5, I might have had a way to come back into it, because your hand isn't the best, and my hand was not great, but it was reasonable enough. But Jural just walled me out.
Yeah.
Especially with the form up backup. Like, I couldn't do anything into it.
I might be wrong. Does this game go to, like, turn 12 and Jural is still alive by turn 12? Am I right in saying
I think so.
Yeah. That's bonkers. That's really crazy.
Proliferating Dark Wraith is
I'm pretty sure I pull an MF off of the 5-drop, but I pick Quinn here.
Oh, they're playing Shen. Yeah, okay.
Oh no, I did go for the 5.
If they play MF, I'm probably playing Jural.
Oh, my goal is to find MF and then go for Champion Strength turn.
Yeah.
Found Jural. You had Jural, which I wasn't expecting, because there's only 2 of them in your deck, and you hadn't played the weapon up till now when there were opportunities to.
Yeah.
And then my plan went to shit.
Yeah, Jural is our version of Screeching Dragon. It does very interesting things by having the tough keyword, as well as beating, like, spell hands sometimes. Which is very, very interesting. Like, this is mostly Darken, very rarely as an equipment. It was very surprising that I was even thinking of using it as an equipment in this spot. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I should probably Jural it up.
I like Jural better than
Jural is just, like, a stronger unit defensively.
Jural feels a lot more modern. Even though Screeching Dragon's, like, one of my top 5 Demacia cards. I really like Screeching Dragon, like, conceptually. But Jural is, like, a much more modern version of what that card ever wanted to be.
Yeah. You even ended up screwing me later in this game with I was going to play form up to protect something, but I couldn't because of Jural's ability.
Yeah.
So, I definitely felt the power of it, and it's definitely something that I'll be, if I end up playing J4 Shen in the open, I'll probably include a couple copies myself.
I had a Yang Zera ask me earlier today why I was playing, like, the cards in my Shen J4. I stole this list from, like, the Noximus squad. I didn't do any edits in this, but, like, I think this is the main reason why he asked. Like, this is a very specific card that blares out to you when you look at the deck list.
I can pull Miswatching next time. Like, the fact that Jural is tough, I think, is better for me. I guess I could have equipped blocking Badger Bear with the Jural weapon and then played Shen. That was maybe better. I'm playing probably too loosely, I would say.
No, I like the Jural. I don't think Shen was right.
Okay.
When you have a lot of thoughts here.
I thought about this. Yeah. Do I attack at all? Do I not attack? Do I full swing? What do I do? It's just, everything feels bad, but I think I probably should have just taken the pass, but I don't really know.
I think you're allowed to just attack with Shell Shocker? Maybe that's wrong. Like, I guess flipping MF doesn't actually matter, right? Like, it's not... MF's almost certainly dying because I'm always open attacking and killing MF. And even through form up, I've got form up, and I don't think you're allowed to say I have to top deck form up and play it for 4 mana. And so Shell Shocker is always going to be better as a 5/4 post CS than doing 1 damage ping with MF. So I think you might be right that the best play is to pass.
Yeah. I think almost certainly the best play was to pass, but I was really focused on flipping the MF for some reason, even though I saw the draw in front of me.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to see, like, what your possible outs are when your hand is, like, a little bit... It's not awkward, but, like, it's 2 buff spells and a bunch of go wide. And so it feels like to play for that, you've got a bunch of units that are replaceable anyway, and you've got stuff you can play. There's, like, no reason not to attack, it feels. But in this instance, I do think it's better not to.
Yeah, I was definitely failing to realize that if I do take this full swing and you end up blocking down effectively, which you can do, I then have to spend my mana redeveloping instead of using my buff spells to try and push any sort of advantage that I might have.
Yeah.
I was also a little bit concerned about deny, which I probably shouldn't have been. But I noticed that you were sitting on 1 card in hand for a while.
Yeah, I think, I had this card in hand for pretty much my whole game. Maybe even Mulligan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Protector has been there for most of the game as well, I think.
Yeah.
since turn 2, maybe.
My blocks are looking pretty fine. And my form-up trades into their form-up pretty equidistantly. And if they play form-up, they're not doing... Yeah, like I think they want to be doing CS, right? So they're trying to plan for their CS. I'm going to block like this in order to keep my unit around. Cool. No CS, I'm just going to open and kill MF. I don't know if Jarvan's going to pull her. I hope it does. That way I can pull Navi.
I got quite lucky that Jarvan got to pull MF. That felt really, really nice for me. It meant I think I did end up attacking with Giral.
Okay. Who gets pulled?
Oh, did I?
MF gets pulled. Fantastic.
Oh, I do. Because I try and be
think you use
aggressive,
the
right?
form- Yeah. I think you end up using the form up to keep the draw alive here after I put a block down.
Yeah. I don't know if that's correct. I wonder if just attacking with Badger Bear is correct. Just like only Badger Bear? Or Badger Bear and maybe just this. No, I mean, this trade's good for me because of CS explicitly, right? Getting rid of any units of yours is better for me. Yeah.
Am I okay losing Giral? Well, they're never CSing, so I think I'd rather just keep Giral around.
I really like that logic. You can't CS for another turn or two, so keeping Giral is always better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was going to say, even if you lost the draw in this exchange, I don't think it's world ending for you. You've gotten like more than enough value off of him with a block and then challenge. My whole board is cleared up now, so I like protecting it though. I think protecting it is definitely the right call once I set a block.
Next turn we can probably just Shen defensively. That way we're keeping up barriers and mooks. Like, I'm expecting them to try and go for a Robomaster sort of angle. Quinn, okay. I spent a couple hours playing with Roma, practicing into Jackson, but it seems to be largely irrelevant. We'll do Shen. We can do Sacred Protector later. Here's Shen. Sergeant. If they get MF, I'm killing MF with Cataclysm. Assuming this is no MF because they spent a long time thinking about it. Okay, do we need to Cataclysm? I think the answer is...
This was a tough position. I couldn't work out if Cataclysm was better for me or just like having second Jarvan in hand was better for me. Because there were worlds where you actually have like a relatively scary next couple of turns with CS and like if you top deck... Well, you've got another Queen in hand, right? Like you've got possible scary scenarios in future. This wasn't like... This didn't feel easy, this position. I think I end up passing and just saying I'm going to protect whatever it is with this. Because like this trade is not something I really want. This trade feels great for you and bad for me. And all of these other things are never getting traded off too much unless it's a this plus a this into one of these two units. So I think I like passing and just keeping riposte around. And also if you decide to kill either this or this, I'm sort of happy with it. But it wasn't an easy decision to make.
I'm not dying here, I don't think. I could kill Quinn with the riposte. I think I'm just gonna block like this though. This isn't bad for them. Like they've actually got some.
I'm glad I didn't try and kill Quinn with the riposte. I think like I very much protect Giral a lot here, but it felt worth it because he was my only challenger unit, right?
Yeah,
and like that removal
I like
is
keeping the
phenomenal.
draw alive.
Yeah.
Draw was making things really, really difficult for me because I was forced. I was like almost forced into these attacks because if I don't go after the draw aggressively and I don't go after your Jarvan aggressively, like there's no way I'm coming back into this game. There's no way I'm winning. So keeping him alive and putting your priority there, and then you have 2 effective challengers on your next token, right? Because you get the Jarvan back as well. It definitely feels a lot better. Also, Jarvan's giving you an additional barrier, which is flipping your Shen. So it's I like the way you played this. It made things very complicated and difficult for me to navigate.
I don't think I play Jarvan. I'm pretty sure I play Sacred Protector, giving this quick attack and also making all of these like aggressive cards.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I'm probably not playing Protector anymore. I'm probably just playing Jarvan. That's my expectation.
Okay.
Jarvan will prior the Sergeant, and I kind of want to prior the Quinn. Do I want to riposte Giral so I can kill Quinn? Or do I just want to play Sacred Protector and force them to block me? Sacred Protector and forcing them to block me might actually just be better. I kind of like that. Yeah, I'm going to do a riposte here. Next time I'm going to play Sacred Protector, force them to block me, and, because, like, if they do CS, I still get the attack token. Like, I still get to attack them. So we'll put Protector on probably... This forces them to block me quite a bit. Due to the double attack. CS? Because I still get to kill Quinn if they
I should have
right? Like, I'm
pre-committed
not in it.
The Quinn.
the form up here
Oh, the form up. Why the form up?
to protect the Quinn, but it didn't matter. Actually, that was bad. That's bad. I don't know why I'm thinking about it. I would...
I see what you're saying, because you can't afford form up in combat because of Giral.
Yeah. There was something here that if I had played the form up proper before the attack, I think I end up surviving or keeping a unit alive or something.
Right, because Quinn ends up having 8 health, but this still does like 12 damage or whatever, whatever it is.
Yeah. There was one block that ends up being better if I play this form up, because I was looking at it when you attacked and going, I have 4 mana now. All right, my form up costs 4 mana. I forgot about it. This sucks.
Yeah, what it is that I end up attacking with this unit. And you would have had an X9. Now, I don't think I should have attacked with this unit. I think I was being a bit too aggressive by doing that. I didn't have to go for lethal in that sense. But yeah, if you pre-commit the form up, you are able to positively trade into this as opposed to evenly trading into it.
Yes. Yeah, it was pre-commit form up on the Broadwing. That's what I should have done. Because then I can take a block with the Broadwing and then go after the 3-1 as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I don't think it really matters if I'm attacking with this or not. It's trading into Broadwing thing anyway. Like, my hand is just highly sculpted.
I think this attack was a misplay. I didn't have to do it. Everything else feels fine, and I think this may have been better, but even still, like, if you pre-commit this and I don't attack with this, then, like, how does that benefit you? Because you're not trading into this and you're not trading into this. I guess you're...
I am trading into the 3-1, right?
No, because it has barrier.
It loses barrier, does it not?
After the combat, yeah. So you're saying it loses barrier and then you challenge it right after?
Yeah.
You don't have to pre-commit form up for that, right? Because it just got 1 health?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm just confused.
I think this is what you're thinking about this trade here, but that shouldn't be happening for me.
Maybe if I don't attack with this, they can't... like, I actually get some guaranteed lethal Broadwing. Instead, Broadwing's trading to this. Yeah, I guess attacking with this is wrong. I'm so checked out of this game because it's not a hard sell right now. I think if I don't attack with the thing, I can probably keep Kinky Shooting alive, but, like, we've got Single and Stand United. I'm not too scared about anything. We'll have a Java next turn. Like, we're gaming. Okay. Let's just play... Let's play nothing. I don't need to do anything. They need to do stuff. Not me.
Yeah, I just decided to pass. I don't know if pass is, like, overly aggressive, but I was thinking if you end up doing this, I kind of just want to single combat this unit. Which I guess I can just play Badger Bear. It doesn't really matter. I think I wanted to single combat this unit and then do this, because this would trade into Quinn, so you can't attack with Quinn either.
With face-up Shen spell, this game is just over, right? There's literally nothing I can do from this position.
Yeah, but I'm
sitting here going... I'm sitting here going, I could use the 6 mana spell. I could use the form up. But then you just send Shen spell and you trade both my units anyways, and both of your units are alive. So what am I actually doing? How do I win from this spot? I'm pretty sure I cast the spell, I think about it for another second, and then I just...
Yeah. I think from my perspective, like, if you do this, I can't play anything besides single combat because it just gets challenged by this unit, right? So I just sort of have to sit around and wait. While if I do single combat, then I can play this and open for lethal, right?
Yeah.
They're evaluating if they should do Robomaster. If they do, I'm single combating Valor.
Oh, you
Set
passed
our
back.
job in.
Yeah, I was just staring down that Shen spell, going, "What the fuck do I do?
Hmm.
There's no way out."
I guess technically we do it like this. That way, if they've got like multiple form-ups, we're safer.
Yeah, if they have multiple form-ups, and I pull Quinn stays alive, and you actually basically do have multiple form-ups. Quinn would have stayed alive if I pull it the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad I did it this way. And then, like, you know, it's been over for a few rounds, but it's mega over
Probably
with,
trying to set up something.
you know.
But that's okay. Like we've got
Yeah.
Jarvan's Cataclysm,
Jarvan's-
United, regular Cataclysm.
Jarvan level 2 is
I remember this.
For
I
mid-range.
love you, Monte. This is
Anyways.
great. Good game, Monte. I'm sorry that this happened. Donut has put in the Tron server, Tron family reunion on Spidz YouTube this week, Pog. Because Tron has been split up among 3 different teams of me and Monte and Donut.
And that's the end of the VOD review. I don't think, like, these games were very blowouty, right? There wasn't a lot of, like, I don't think you could have made meaningful plays that would have prevented a loss. I do think that there's stuff to be said about, like, making sure you're blocking favorably in order to set yourself up for the developments you want to do anyway, right?
Yep.
But even in that Ashe game, it doesn't have a meaningful impact on the game, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think anything it matters for the sake of my own personal play and playing optimally, but it doesn't matter for the sake of winning the game because it just didn't line up this time. You hit the cards that you needed to hit in order to win the matchup, and for the losing deck to be able for the deck that's losing statistically to be able to win the matchup, you need to whiff that draw, and you didn't. So
yeah,
but still a good set. I had a lot of fun playing it.
Oh, so did I.
It was good to review it. I did learn a couple things based off of the watch back.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. If it's valuable to you, then it's definitely worth doing. Is there anything you want to say to Spidz YouTube before we close it out for the day?
Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Spidz deserves the love. She does a good job with her YouTube content. It's amazing.
That's very sweet of you. And thank you for joining me. I had good fun.
Thank you for having me.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Welcome back. Today will be All right.